Hey everybody, it is I, the Kaiju Daddy, and I am raging. I've just been venting to the fellas in the back, but this is a ridiculous event. We'll get into it in a moment. I want to say hi to everybody. Before I say hi to everybody, I'm going to bring in the fellas. So we'll start with this guy. How's this guy doing? Darth Benevolent.
What's happening? Good to see you. Good to be here with everybody. Happy Superman Day, and looking forward to some Star Wars.
Nice. I totally forgot it was Superman Day.
Once Al popped his picture up, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Superman Day."
Kind of. And it's fitting because let me grab it.
Well, I actually had a few things going on today, so
I finally just got this guy.
Nice.
This is the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
So I finally got this guy, and I unboxed him yesterday. So Friday, after I came back raging from Celebration. Let me try to put this down without it breaking. Yeah, that's it.
It's just such a bummer.
So, Superman Day. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just a bummer because it's such a cool event. I'd love to go. So I've never managed to make it there. But next one.
The next one. All right. Let's bring in our other expert. And has a lot to say about what happened yesterday. What's up,
hey.
F resellers? How you doing?
F resellers in general. I mean, I just felt bad, all the news I was seeing, as you can see, I got the picture in the back of probably Pop Collectibles just buying up everything. But resellers in any market, whether it's figures, sneakers, man, video game consoles when they first come out, crazy. It's crazy business, but it is what it is. But it just sucks that it happens. Pulled out my little Hot Toy Superman. My in-art one's in the box right now, so I saw you pull out your black suit, so pull out my Justice League. But so happy Superman Day.
Yeah, happy Superman Day to everybody. So we're gonna vent. I want to say hi to the people in the chat. We'll start off with Mark, who's always first. Mark, if you're not first, you're last, and you know that. Thank you, sir. So we have Mike Hunt. I'm not gonna say it the other way. It's Michael Hunt.
I don't get it.
Guessing by the fact that Luke and Han are numbered and the Chrome Mando is not, we should at least get those two as mainline releases. That is not true. The Mando is numbered. Let me see right now. The Mando is number 256, and the Luke is 257, and the Han is 258. So it is numbered. So yeah, it is numbered. It's its own separate release. And they did the same thing with the Webman and the Silhouette Dark Knight Returns, Superman and Batman.
Those were those open numbers you called, right?
What is that?
Those were those open number slots you called.
That was the numbers I called. I said it was either going to be an exclusive or they were going to be like repaints that they were going to release right away. I thought exclusive meant like store exclusive, but it was an event exclusive. So I was off by that. But that's something that people should try to be keenly aware of, the numbers that they do, because it'll give you a good indication as to whether some numbers are skipped. They'll release a figure sooner rather than later. So when they skip the numbers, you should expect those numbers to come. And when they are announced, they'll be out within a month or two. So that's just a little bit of a tip when you're looking at the Medicom stuff. So I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to try. Am right? I don't know. Is that
right? Am right?
Yeah, am right. So Avid Con Festival Celebration goer, hands down the worst one I've been to. A real shite show, indeed.
Damn.
Yeah. It was so poorly executed it was ridiculous. And I'll get into my experience when it comes to what I dealt with from the beginning, from the get-go. And we'll talk about it. And if you were at Celebration and you want to chime in, be my guest. So sorry to hear this. He went to both Celebration 5 and 6 just before The Last Jedi was released. Those were awesome shows. Yeah, I've been saying I went to Celebration Japan in 2008, and I was talking about this to some of the people attending yesterday. And it seems like 2008 was kind of like a desert time in terms of Star Wars. It was before Rebels, I believe. It's before Clone Wars, I believe. I think Clone Wars started.
It was like, around that time is when Clone Wars.
Around that time. But if Clone Wars was going, it was the only thing going. I think maybe Clone Wars was going on. I stand corrected. I think it was going on, but that was it. They didn't have anything else going on. The movies were done. Lucas had said for years he wasn't going to be doing the sequels. Like he said for years he wasn't going to do the prequels.
Right.
And there was really just no media generating any kind of buzz for Star Wars. And so I was living in Japan. It was 2008. I went to Toys R Us in Ikebukuro, and they had a signage outside of Toys R Us promoting Celebration. So, 2008 wasn't the beginning of the internet, but it was the early days of the internet, especially in terms of like promoting and that type of thing. So I ended up going the day of. It was that weekend. I ended up going, I think like the next day I went and I got a ticket and I went in and, I was unimpressed other than there were like a lot of props. There was a snow speeder there. There was a bantha there. There was it was a really cool Darth Vader helmet exhibition that artists kind of did their own interpretation of Vader and stuff. It was cool, but there weren't many people there at all. So I was a little bit underwhelmed. I was in and out in a couple hours. It was just, it wasn't anything great. But I heard that they did more. It's just, I think I was there the last day. So probably the last day of any celebration is kind of the weakest day in terms of, people there and interest and so on. So, but I've been to 2 celebrations. And the last one definitely sucked. So Garth Gutierrez, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining. 13-hour wait in the queue, only to be, man. Like people were getting effed left and right. I'm trying to keep this a family show, so I'm not going to use the vulgarity, but again, so let's just, the Watch It, man. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you here. Yeah, that's probably it. You couldn't see the numbers in the Mando box. He is numbered. So I'll be hopefully. So I got home yesterday. I'll get into it later, but I got home and I basically crashed. I was just exhausted. So I didn't really have the energy to do a review. So I do have 2 of the figures right here by my side. So
thanks so much for grabbing those for me. Appreciate
it. The waffle is today. So I have those 2 for one lucky winner. If it's Al, we'll spin it again. No worries. Don't worry. Oh, snap. It's Sam. Excited for the waffle, I'm assuming. Right? All right, so let's get into it. Let me close that down and let me just pull something up. So, all right. Give you guys a little bit of an idea of the background. So, when this was announced at the conclusion of Star Wars Celebration Europe, which was London. And it was announced for 2 years later, which is now. And when you bought your tickets, you could pre-purchase different swag, right? You could get a lanyard, you could get a shirt, you could get different things, which is great. And when you picked up your badges here over the past week, you could get those particular things that you purchased. With that being said, there's a Star Wars store during Celebration where people were queuing up at 10 o'clock in the morning. The thing starts at 9. People are queuing up at 10. They didn't even get into the store. They didn't get into the store. The store line, like other lines, Hot Toys included, closed. Just closed. There are people inside. You're wondering, how are these people inside if the queue is closed? But people were inside, and it was almost like they were kind of every so often just quickly saying, all right, we'll take a couple more people, and you can go in. So people queued up at 10 o'clock in the morning to get into that store. And they didn't even get inside the store because the store line, it was a 5-hour, 6-hour wait. And around 2 o'clock, I think I got a message. I think it was 2 that the line had closed. Now, if you were there and you can say otherwise, please do. But I remember it being around that time. And so one of the reasons they closed the line is because things are selling out. So a lot of the T-shirts were gone. A lot of the artwork was gone. A lot of the stuff that people really wanted, the jackets, hoodies, those are gone. And they didn't have prices on anything when they announced what these things were going to be, which is what, Al, Jason, about a week ago, they kind of showed that these were going to be in the store. Yeah. But there was never a price on anything. It was just, this is what we're going to sell. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys muted? I didn't mute anybody.
No, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
So I hear you now. So there's no price on anything. People are lined up. Things are selling out. Now, why can't you announce this merchandise beforehand? Why can't you do a system? Because, this was announced 2 years ago. Tickets went on sale. When did the tickets go on sale? A year ago? 8 months ago? 9 months ago? Something like that. Something like that. Yeah. Why couldn't you allow people to pre-order whatever it is they wanted so that we didn't deal with this bullshit of people queuing up for hours to be turned away? Why couldn't you do that? Why can't you do that as a sign of respect for people's time? A lot of the people at Celebration were not Japanese. I would say most of the people there traveled here to go to Celebration. You spent all that money to come, waste all of your time in the line, only to have nothing available in your size or nothing available that you were looking for. And I'm not talking about one thing. I'm talking about multiple things just gone. This is not the first Celebration. This is not their first rodeo. How do you make this colossal mistake of not having enough product? You know how many tickets you sold. You should know from previous shows generally how many items someone buys. You have this data. Why can't you set it up so that either you overproduce something, you're still going to make a profit, or you allow people to pre-order stuff like you did with the swag when they bought their tickets and just allow people to pick it all up in one go? Why can't you do that instead of wasting people's time? So the people are lined up this morning. Again, it was, I think, 9:30, and they were told it was a 5-hour wait right from the get-go, right from the jump. 5 hours.
Jeez.
And this is an issue. Stuff sold out yesterday. Sizes are gone. I haven't seen one thing announcing what's sold out and what's available.
Really?
So people are lining up with no idea, number one, on the pricing, because you haven't put that anywhere. I haven't seen it. Maybe you did. I missed it, but I haven't seen it. You haven't seen anything with the pricing. You haven't seen anything with what's sold out. I know what's sold out because Ian went into the store after 5 o'clock yesterday, and I asked him to pick me up a couple things because I couldn't get into the store because he had reserved a time to get into the store. They allow people to do that. He went in and he was like, that's not here. That's not here. These are sold out. That's sold out. I haven't seen anything announcing that these things are sold out. So you're making people queue up and wait for 5 hours, knowing that things are sold out, but you're not telling anyone? What's that?
Garbage.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is bullshit. I don't get that. So when we picked up our tickets, our badges, they were printing shirts then. So you could get these kind of custom shirts. What was it, like a Stormtrooper, a Vader, and does anybody know what the other one was? There was 3.
No,
I have no clue.
Maybe it was Darth Maul or something. I don't know. But it was 3 types of shirts, and they had like a Japanese torii, which is that gate in the background, and they were making them there.
Yeah.
This is the first indication of shit running amok.
That's crazy.
There were 5-hour waits for that. They were turning people away for that. You can't pre-produce a certain number of shirts in sizes. You can't do that. Everything has to be printed there.
They should have.
It's like they thought the gimmick of it would be cool for people to see, but really, you're just wasting people's time.
That.
It is hard to piss off a dedicated Star Wars fan base, but mission accomplished. Jeez.
Should have had someone putting together some Hot Toys in the background.
Yeah,
making some dark side Anakins.
Yeah. So the next one is supposedly Orlando because the last one is Anaheim, and they're not going to do 2 consecutive American ones in the same place. And Disney basically, their headquarters for the most part in Orlando, that's where all their shit is. So it's probably going to be there. No respect for people. I haven't even gotten started on what happened there. We'll get into it. So I was talking to a guy who's behind me. I doubt he's watching the stream. I was talking to a guy who's from Dallas, and this was his first time out of America. I would say he's in his 30s, maybe he's in his early 40s. I don't know. But he said he was surprised at the amount of people in Japan who are into Star Wars. And I said, yeah, one of the issues that people have is they tend to lump Asia together. Asia's a massive place. You have Japan, you have China, you have India, you have the Philippines. It's massive.
It's huge.
Some places got Star Wars back in the 70s. Japan got Star Wars in 78. China never got Star Wars. So the fandom in China is not big at all. But the fandom in Japan is huge. And people say, well, they're not into Star Wars in Asia. No. They're not into Star Wars in China. Don't confuse the two. They're different. It's very different. What's big and popular in Canada isn't necessarily big and popular in Mexico. They're both in North America, but they're very different places.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to think about that. There are a lot of people, I would say most Japanese are going to be going today because Friday's a work day, right? It's a work day. People aren't really taking it off. They're going to go on the weekend. And the first day to sell out was Saturday. It's today. The last day to sell out, I think, was Sunday, tomorrow. But I would say most Japanese are there today. But if you look around, most of the cosplayers are Japanese. And there were some amazing cosplayers there. Absolutely, awesome. There was this one dude as a droideka. He's like, da, 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 da. And he would do somersaults. It was so good.
Like rolling a ball.
Yeah, it was so good. It was really cool. But like, again, there were people who kind of brought the Japanese and the Star Wars together with their outfits and everything. So anyway, hold on a second.
I like that one picture Ian shared with us. That was beautiful for the cosplay. The Stormtrooper.
So KJ just messaged me. KJ, you watching this? He's probably on his own stream, right?
Yeah, probably. I messaged in there and I saw him on there. Like I just checked on my phone.
Yeah. So they could have set it up where they pre-printed shirts ahead of time. Save people time. Just do it that way. But they didn't. They didn't do it that way. Everything had to be pressed in front of you. I understand. Oh, it's a gimmick. It's great. We've done it before. Yeah, but it's time consuming and stupid. Why don't you do that with every shirt? Why not? Because it's time consuming and stupid. Just print them out. And once you hit that allotment number, you can start hand pressing them again if you want in front of people, whatever. But right off the bat, that was stupid. So you get there. I got there at 4:30 in the morning. I got there 4:30 in the morning. There were already like 200 people or more in front of me. And everybody was chill. There were great people online. And I saw Ian. Ian came up to me. I almost didn't see him because I was looking, eye level. I had to look down.
You saw an Ewok, right? You saw an Ewok?
I heard. So Ian, I was gonna invite Ian where I was, but I already had my buddy who drove me. He hadn't parked yet, so I was waiting for him. I didn't want to bring multiple people into the line. You know what I mean? But he was just a little bit behind me. So anyway, we're in the line, and eventually the line, it's six across. It's massive, the amount of space that they roped off. And then it wraps around.
Wow.
And you start seeing these people coming with suitcases. And you're like, okay, these are cosplayers. The cosplayer area to get dressed is over there. This is to get in. Who are these people? What are they doing with all these suitcases? So the guy who was next to me when I got there, he was from Hong Kong. And he was saying, oh, these guys are the Chinese guys. These guys are Pop Collectibles. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know them. And sure as shit, they started chatting. Like the Pop Collectibles guys came over. And he was saying, yeah, they're here and they're going to buy up the stuff. You know who was also there? Who's that guy from Hong Kong who does the first reviews? MK what? Mr. something.
For 1/6 or
what is it?
For
the guy who does
scale?
the early reviews like Justin.
Let me see.
1/6 stuff. Okay. Jason, you wouldn't know. Anyway, people who are in a 1/6, the guy, he's a Filipino, I think. Or he's from Indonesia. He's either from Indonesia or the Philippines, and he lives in Hong Kong now, and he does his reviews. They're usually first day release or the next day. Anyway, I saw him. He was there in a Jedi robe. It was cool. But the guy was like, yeah, these are Pop Collectibles guys. And he was saying that they have flyers. And what they do is when they go in, because it's a group of people. It's not one guy rolling in. It's like a team. And they go in and they have flyers. And once they get in the store, I wasn't in the store when they did, but this is the guy. He was telling me this is their MO. When you get in the store, they start approaching people or giving them flyers. Will you buy this and this and this, and we'll give you the money. We'll buy it off of you, basically. If you buy these, we'll buy them off of you. So I saw plenty of people in the store who were just buying like the Grogu, right? Because a normal Star Wars, a normie, who's into Star Wars is more enticed by a life-size Grogu than a 1/6 rooted hair Anakin. I mean, that's just the reality of it, especially the females. But there was a whole bunch of stuff in this store, a lot of cool stuff. But they were approaching people, and that's what they do. They approach people. Would you be willing to sell something? Would you be willing to buy this and we'll buy it off of you? You're allowed to buy 2. You're getting 1. Would you buy another one and we'll buy it off of you at this price? And so when you see them with a stack of stuff, that's most likely the reason. Now, I'll tell you, when I was in the Hot Toys store, when I got in, let me rewind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, guys. The door opens, and there's a mad rush. Mad rush. People are pushing me. I'm like throwing elbows. I'm running. I see girls running faster than me. I'm like, F that. I start extending my legs because I'm tall. And we're running, and all the Japanese are running out of nowhere, out of everywhere, saying, don't run, stop. Everybody's going to Hot Toys. Everybody. We get there, and the CEO of Hot Toys Japan, Frank Dubois, he runs out. Like, he's taller than me. He's a giant. He goes, stop, no. And they like rope off, they chain off the area to get in. And he's like, there's enough for everybody. Don't worry. There's enough in there. Everybody will get one. And we're like, F that. Like, we know the numbers on these figures. We see who's here, who wants this stuff. There's not enough for everybody. So people are like, get out of here with that nonsense. So he opened the thing, and I was the first one in. And I got in, but you're only allowed a certain number, right? You can only buy a certain number. And when you get in, the staff, they're looking at what you have. On the floor, they're looking at what you have. And they came up to people and they said, you're only allowed 2. That's it. When I went up to buy, someone was next to me. There was 2 people. One person was buying. They had multiple. They said to the person, you're only allowed 2. And the person was like, well, I'm here with this person. We're 2 people. Okay, but you're only allowed 2. So to say that Hot Toys was kind of in on a scam or Hot Toys was facilitating it, no. I don't buy it. That's not what I saw. That wasn't my experience. I think Hot Toys did the best for what they had in front of them, which was Reed Pop having no organization, no way of controlling the crowds, no way of kind of having a line set up, giving people numbers where you can go in. I think the only mistake Hot Toys made was allowing people 2 per person. I think that's the biggest mistake they made. But on the floor, in the place, Hot Toys, my experience was great. They were great. They had to close the line. They had to close the store because of the volume of people trying to get in. They had to control it. I get it. But to say that like scalpers were openly like breaking the rules, that's not what I saw. That wasn't my experience. So if they approach you inside and say, if you buy this, if you buy these, we'll give you 5,000 yen more per figure. Sure, why not? People will do that. And in my opinion, that's what happened. And they just got, volume of people picking up stuff that they weren't going to buy, and they bought it from them. That's my only explanation. Now, it doesn't defeat the fact that, as Al's picture shows, there were a ton of scalpers there with pallets basically full of stuff. So, but my experience was that Hot Toys was doing the best they could to make sure that everybody was only getting 2. So I know people have bad experiences with Hot Toys. That Anakin sold out really fast. The Stormtrooper sold out fairly quickly as well. And from my understanding, Urso is sold out now as well. So It was just a very, very hard, I should say hard. It was a hard situation to be in for Hot Toys, just, with the numbers of people and everything people wanted to buy. It was a no-win situation for them.
What
and
about
the low numbers on production obviously didn't help.
What about how they were supposed to do a daily limit per figure? I recall you were saying that it was supposed to be
I
500
never said
for
that.
this set.
No, Ian said that.
Okay.
Ian said
So
that.
that
I don't know where he got it, because I went to Toy Sapiens and I asked them. I said point blank, are they going to have allotments per day, or is everything going out on the first day? And they said everything's going out on the first day. And I think the last live stream I said that everything was going out on the first day. And if you want to get Hot Toys, I'm not knocking Ian. Ian's my friend. I'm not knocking him. He had other priorities at this thing. He wanted to go to the panels.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out what is your priority.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're there on day one and you know something will sell out at some point, you're really playing a game of Russian roulette with this that you shouldn't play if it's that important to you.
Yeah.
For me, getting my figures was very important to me. I got there at 4:30 in the morning. It's important to me. I wanted to have my figures. And I almost had a heart attack running to get them. It was not easy. But, other people that I know didn't get there at 4:30. They got there when the train started. They got there at 6. They got there at 7. And when they try to get into Hot Toys, they missed the boat. So, again, it is what it is. Like, when you understand the numbers, you have to say, how important is it to me that I get this? And you plan accordingly. So Aiden, who we know from over in the Hot Toys hotline, he was very upset. He was very nervous about missing out on the figure. So yeah, it was MRC collection, Mr. C. Yeah. Thank you for that. He was very nervous about missing it. So he left home very early. He was going to get a hotel. He was going to pay so much money to get a hotel room the night before just so he could be closer. But he got there and he wasn't that far off from me. And he got his figures. But he prioritized it. He knew what he wanted. And when the doors opened, that's where he went. So when you get there later, when you want a figure that's limited, a limited item, it's limited from the beginning. Collectors are rabid about this. Then you should plan accordingly. But t-shirts, people generally buy these kind of things when they go to the cons. You should, at the very least, like the toys, give us a number. Or let people pre-order them. Why can't you let us do that? There's no reason I could pre-order these shirts, but not these ones. What's the difference? Would have made it so much better. People not wasting their day in line when you're not communicating. Hot Toys communicated. Anakin is sold out. They had a big sign. Stormtrooper sold out. They had a big sign. The store hasn't done that. We have an app. App hasn't done that. They haven't alerted anyone. It's bullshit. It's terrible the way they treat people. So did that, went to Hot Toys, got what I needed. And I will say about Hot Toys, they give you these plastic bags. Trying to lug this stuff around ain't easy. And I had drama when I tried to pay for my stuff because my credit card was getting declined because I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that sucks.
Like, no, because I don't use it's an American card, right? Like I don't use it. So they're like, oh, what's this big bill? What's this big spending in Japan? So they wouldn't authorize it. We had to contact them. So I almost had a heart attack with that. When the transaction finally went through, I had 3 Japanese guys like tending to me because we're trying to figure out, why is it not taking it?
Mm-hmm.
And it finally went through, and we fist bumping each other. It's great. It's great. Again, I'll say the people at this thing, the Japanese people, the Western people, everybody in between, awesome people. The experience with people was awesome, top notch. I loved my experience there talking to people. It was great. Everybody was friendly, helpful, cooperative, everything. The organizers, have them walk the plank because they suck. They ran out of onigiri. Onigiri is rice balls. They ran out of rice balls at this thing.
Wow.
At lunch. Not later in the day.
Really?
At lunch.
Jeez.
They ran out of yakisoba, Japanese noodles. They ran out. What? Ridiculous. They undersupplied everything so they didn't take a loss. That's my opinion.
Sounds like it.
They undersupplied everything so as not to take any possible loss. That's bullshit. People paid a lot of money to go to this. A lot of money.
Running out of food is insane.
Insane. Rice in Japan.
That is
bullshit.
Insane.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, like you want to make people who are already upset even angrier. Take away the food.
Right. Yeah.
None.
Yeah. I have 2 friends that went to Celebration Japan. They told me they are not ever leaving the country for Celebration again. They said they love the food. Cannot believe how clean Japan is. Yeah. I've always said, and I always will say this. Once you come to Japan, you're ruined. Because once you go back to your country, nothing's ever the same. It's never the same. Everything's run fairly efficiently here. People are nice. It's clean. It's respectful. It's safe. There's so many great things to say about Japan. We won't say the bad things. There's plenty of those. But it's a great, great place to be. And, once you come here, it's hard to go anywhere else, in my opinion. Once I started coming here, I didn't want to go anywhere else. And then I eventually just moved here. So I finished the hot toys. And then I went over to Medicom and I made sure to pick up the Mafex stuff. Now that line wasn't long at all, but it was such a long wait because you get a paper and you have to like check off what you want. And it's 1 figure per transaction. So you get 1 of this, 1 of this, 1 of this. You can't get 2. So it's 1 per thing. And you would think, all right, I've showed you my menu, what I want. And this would be a very quick, easy transaction. No. So they take out each one individually. This is what you want. And they show it to you and you look it over and they make sure that it corresponds with the paper. And then like all this other stuff. It was just so time consuming, which is a staple of Japan. They waste time like nobody else. But that line was unnecessarily long. But at the end of the day, that was the best line. And at the end of the day, that was the only line that seemingly still had what everybody wanted, which were the exclusives. So today, if you're still going, the Mafex stuff should still be there. Now, in terms of, is this stuff going to be available after Celebration? We don't know. We have no idea. I asked the people at Medicom. They're not obviously the top. They're at the bottom of the food chain, essentially, or someone in the middle. They didn't know. They couldn't tell me. The wording is ambiguous. It could mean that they're coming out later. It could mean that they're not coming out later. Who knows? Maybe they come out as a 2-pack later. That's possible. Maybe it happens. But as of right now, those figures, they're only available at Celebration. So yeah, and they look great. I don't know if anybody saw the video that I put on the Facebook group. They look great. They really, really look great. Very happy with these. I can't wait to open them. I haven't opened them yet. So, but I got, I got my Mando and I got my two figures. So after that, we ended up bringing stuff to my buddy's car just to kind of, stop lugging things around, kind of free us up. And then we went back and I went to the Hasbro line. So the Hasbro line, they have a sign that says this is the end of the line. And at that point, this is the end of the line also said the line is temporarily closed. So I start talking to like these guys who are just kind of mulling around. And I'm like, are you guys kind of waiting for this line to reopen? And they're like, yeah. I was like, is there an order to this? He's like, no, we're just hanging. I'm like, okay. So we start talking. I think they were members of the 501st, I think. But as the line starts getting less, because people are buying what they need, she's moving with the line. And we're all kind of slowly walking with her, waiting for the line to reopen. And at a certain point, she got pissed at us because she told us this is not a line. She said, don't move again. And she was really angry. So we all just kind of stopped. We were chatting. And then suddenly the line opened and everybody rushed it. So I went in and I waited, I'm going to say like an hour at the Hasbro line to get the Visions Hasbro Black Series exclusive. Waited an hour. I got it. 15,000 yen. Waited an hour. Left the line. Later on in the day, you guys all know what happened. Amazon put it up on their website for less money. During the event.
Jeez.
Not after the event. During the event. What a slap in the face to everybody who waited in that effing queue and paid $50 extra to get this figure for Hasbro to then give it to Amazon to just, here you go. What?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Now, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem if you want to sell it later. But don't underprice it from what we paid. That is bullshit. Bullshit. I don't care if there's a tariff on stuff coming into Japan. This is an exclusive to the event. It should never, ever be priced under what we're paying at the event. Never. And they did it. I'm pissed. People I know that waited in the line, they're pissed. I haven't gone into the Black Series groups for the people who are actually here. I'm sure they're pissed. That's unbelievable that Hasbro would do that. Unbelievable. No heads up. Oh, we might make this available on Amazon later. Well, shit. I mean, if I can save $50 and not have to waste an hour of my life in line, then I'll do that. Unreal. Unreal. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I'd have been furious.
You're muted, Jason.
No, I hear him. I hear Jason.
I couldn't hear him.
I can hear you.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be furious. I mean, talk about wasting your time and money. I mean, it's insulting, especially at the same time. It'd be bad if it happened after the fact, but to have it happen while you're standing there, I'd have just been furious, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you know what? It's crazy with all the bad press Hasbro's been getting lately, especially, you know, with their Marvel Legends stuff, maximum this, maximum that. This was a maximum FU to Celebration fans. again, if they were to release this after, Celebration is over, fine. I mean,
Extra stock. We have extra
yeah,
stock.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, or just like we don't know if Medicom's going to release stuff or whatnot. But yeah, extra stock. But like you said, for them to release it while the event is still going on at a way lower price, that's just bad for your fans, for your customers, and of all places, just Amazon. I mean, I don't even think it was on Hasbro Pulse, right? It was just Amazon.
No, just
Yeah,
the only place
that is weird. I mean, that just shows you that, I mean, there was some kind of deal made with Amazon, and Amazon has money, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'll have
crazy.
that memory forever.
Yeah.
They'll never take it away from me.
Like everyone says, Hasbro gonna Hasbro.
Yeah. Yeah. Garth, Darth knows what's up. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this, like the Pulse stuff ending up elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I understand Target stuff being at Pulse because Hasbro makes it. And you want to offer it. Not everywhere has a Target, believe it or not. Not everywhere has a Walmart, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Making it available to people, especially Pulse, where they have a membership. I get it. I understand. But come on. This was billed as an event exclusive.
Yep.
The event's still going on. You're charging 15,000 yen for this thing. People at this event are wasting their time lining up in the queue for a thing that you just threw up on Amazon for less money than what people paid at the event.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point is the exclusivity of it.
That's a different story. Exclusive.
Yeah. Right.
Exclusive.
If I travel to Japan, and that's on my list of things I'm dying for, and exclusive figures, exclusive merchandise, and I find out that I flew there, paid to get in, paid more to get the product that's anybody else could grab at the same time without waiting or pay, I'd be pissed.
I got one for KJ.
Nice.
I got it for KJ. I'm sure KJ got one now. He's not going to buy it for me. I bought a thing that I didn't really want. Not that he specifically said buy it, but we all know like he wanted it, right? And I'm not blaming KJ. I'm blaming Hasbro. It's bullshit. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But exclusives in general, yeah. I mean, it's a stressful part of the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have as many exclusives as they do. And when you do have exclusives, make it something like this. Or a Chrome Mando. You don't need these guys for your collection. I mean, you don't need that. You don't need a Sakura Stormtrooper for your collection. It's cool to have it. You don't need it. Unfortunately, with Target and Walmart, they don't think that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They put Vipers, Cobra Vipers. Everybody needs a Viper. They put it as a store exclusive. What are you doing? It's unbelievable. But I did talk to a couple guys, like I said, those 501st guys, and I asked them if they were going to be getting the Mafex figures. They didn't know what Mafex was. So I showed them the video that I just taken. I was like, oh, this, because, these are 501st guys. They appreciate the suits and everything. And I was like, it comes with a regular helmet, comes with a stun helmet. It's like, yeah, I see that. So later on, I'm passing by Medicom, who's in line. these two guys.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
nice.
Maybe I've made new collectors out of them.
Yeah, maybe they'll should have had them follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't advertise who I want. My buddy was like, you should wear something that says Kaiju Daddy and give out stickers. I'm like, if I do that, people are going to attack me. Nobody's going to come up and say hi. They're gonna, So then I had to pick up a poster that I pre-bought. And I told Al and Jason about this. So let's imagine that if we're all watching on a TV or on our PC, the window is, it's here. It's like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this area is where you go and you get like your receipt that you bought it. And over here are tables with the artists. Okay. So you had to pre-buy these posters back in March. And I'm not lying when I say the line for this thing started over here in the corner outside. It went up, it went over, it went down, all the way here, came over here, then it started doing the zigzag, right? Why was it that long? Because they had this long table that could seat 10 to 15 people easily. They had one guy taking your order number, confirming your name, and printing you out a receipt that you would then walk over here, give it to the artist, and the artist would hand you the artwork. One guy.
That's nuts, man.
This is a table that can fit 15 people. You allocated one human to do that. I waited in this line for over an hour. People were leaving the line in front of me like, this is too long. I can't wait for this. But this was my only day, so I had to get it. I can't get it today. Another incredible, colossal waste of time. I thought Tokyo Comic-Con was bad. This is the worst. This was an awful, shitty, terrible setup. It really was. You run out of food. You run out of merchandise. Don't tell anybody. You don't tell anybody you ran out. You're making people wait in queues. You're reselling stuff that's supposed to be exclusive here for less money on Amazon at the same time. Come on. Ridiculous. So if I didn't meet cool people at this thing, I would chalk it up to an incredible clusterfuck. But the people there were awesome. They were great. All the people I spoke to were super friendly, super nice, great, incredible looking cosplayers. It was a wonderful experience with the people. But the convention, which is, I don't pay money to hang out with the people. The convention itself was bullshit. Total bullshit. Now, I want to go to Celebration in 2 years because it's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. And I know there's going to be stuff there that I want. Now, the first movie I ever saw was Star Wars in the movie theater. First movie ever. It was like 78, I think, during the re-release. I'm pretty sure it was 78. So that's like, I remember being obsessed with Star Wars. I saw Empire Strikes Back opening day in America and in Ireland. I was in Ireland that summer and I saw it opening day in Ireland.
That's cool.
And I saw Jedi opening day. I've seen every Star Wars movie with the exception of the first movie opening day.
Same.
And, it's a big part of my life.
Yeah, I've seen them all opening day with my dad.
You saw the first one opening day?
Saw the first one opening week. We did. Nobody knew how big it was going to be at the time.
No.
It was. I remember seeing the previews for it before anyone knew what Star Wars was, and it was mostly the cantina scene people were talking about, not much of the rest of it, but that's what
Really?
grabbed people. Yeah, when I was a kid, everyone's like, looking at the cantina because
That cantina scene, that looks like the Goldberg family over there. What do you think? I'm messing with you, Jason.
Oh, that was fun. That's back when you used to have to camp out to get tickets for those movies.
Oh, we were talking about episode 1, camping out back in '99. That was a great
waited, not overnight, but I think it was 8 hours for Jedi. And
yeah, we got there early in the morning.
And someone tried to ruin Jedi when we were waiting in line. It wasn't the first show, so someone came out and went, Leia's Luke's sister. And I thought they were going to murder that guy.
Really?
Yeah, we were pretty pissed after waiting that long.
There's something to be said about, communally lining up to experience something.
There is.
There's something really great about it because everyone's excited, prepaying for your tickets now. It's convenient.
It's not the same.
But it's missing that excitement that getting there and being with other fans and sharing your love of the fandom. That's awesome. And you don't get it anymore.
Same with like concerts. We used to have to, sleep overnight in the alley behind the ticket place, whichever one it was. And but that was it was a good party.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
From what I remember.
You know what I remember?
Old guys reminiscing.
Yeah, right.
That's it. I remember when episode 1 was coming out, and that's when that was coming out, I was like in my mid-teens, getting to the later teens. But I remember that's what when I started driving around with my cousins more, going to LA, Hollywood. Man, I remember I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks before episode 1 was supposed to come out. There was already those people camping out in front of Man's Chinese Theater. They had like a whole setup, like tents. They were dressed up in Jedi robes, and some guy even had like his whole, computer desktop somehow powered over there, just camping out for weeks until the movie came out. Insane. But I'm sure he had a good time.
Yeah. Let me just respond to a message. You guys keep talking.
Oh yeah. So
it was fun too when Star Wars came out. You made me think of this with the Grumman Chinese, and they did the foot and handprints for Vader and C-3PO and R2-D2, and I think Mark Hamill might have been there. But just cool stuff to see, especially when you're a little kid and Darth Vader's standing there.
Right. I mean, I wasn't old enough to see the first couple movie or the first original trilogy in theaters, because that was coming out when I was I wasn't even born when episode 1
just
came
an
out.
itch in your dad's crotch, right?
But when did episode?
You were there.
I'm sorry, episode 5. When did Empire come out? What year was that? That was 80. Okay, so I was even born for that too. And then Jedi, I think, came out the year before I was born, 83.
83. Yep.
Yeah, so the year before.
Every 3 years back then.
Yeah, so I mean, I obviously didn't get to see those opening day unless my dad did. But what I remember, when I was, how I got into Star Wars, I would always see them on TV. I think it was Channel 5 that used to always play Star Wars back in the day, KTLA 5.
KTLA,
and then my dad ended up getting this. He got a Laserdisc machine, when I think it was the late 80s, maybe 89 or 90.
Yeah, right about there.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, what movies do you want to get?" He let me pick a couple of them, and I was like, I saw all 3 Star Wars on Laserdisc, and I was like, I want all of those, and I would just watch them on repeat. He had to flip the disc over when it was the second half of the movie.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
My dad still has his Laserdisc player and all the Laserdiscs. And we fired one up recently, and it is so bad. It's just barely better than VHS. The quality
Yeah,
it was better than VHS.
like that much better than VHS.
yeah.
If you watch,
I just
if
want
you
to
watch one,
can I just talk to Christopher real quick?
Oh yeah,
Grievous was on display. Grievous was on display. Maybe in my rage at the event, everything I filmed of Hot Toys, everything I filmed of Figure Arts is no longer on my phone.
oh man.
So everything I filmed isn't there. So there'll be no celebration videos from me, guys. So don't wait for those. I was looking and I'm like, where's those videos? I got all the new troopers from Hot Toys, all that stuff. I got the TIE Interceptor, the TIE Fighter, the Naboo Fighter, the N1. And I got all the figure art stuff. Let me just show you guys this though. So this has every figure in it. So let me turn this off. Give me a second. I'm only docked for a moment. So it's got all the figures in it, but it's got a checklist
Nice.
of all the Hot Toys Star Wars figures.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So if you want to keep tabs on everything that's come out, everything you missed out on, everything you want to get as of right now, it's just this massive checklist. It's awesome. It's an awesome book. When you go to these Hot Toys events, you can pick these type of things up, and they're really, really cool. And they have Micro Galaxy stuff in here because they import the stuff into Japan. Hot Toys Japan does. So really, really cool. But yeah, this is good stuff. The Grogu. Sorry for interrupting, but yeah, Grievous was on display. He looked great. He's kind of with his arms up like that, and then his other arms up, unlike the way they displayed him in the Tamashii Nation store. He looked really, really nice. I asked the guy that I know from Bandai a little bit about it. He wasn't really sure when it's gonna go up, but I would say it's probably gonna go up for pre-order May 4th. Around then. I think May 4th is a Sunday. Or is it? I think it's a Sunday.
Let's
Sunday.
check right now. Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday.
So that's Golden Week. Tamashii Nations usually puts their pre-orders for their stuff, their figure arts up around the 4th of the month. But that's Golden Week, so I don't know if they will be or not. I can't remember previous years. I can't remember. But if people are asking about the Grievous, when's it going to go up? I would say it's probably going to go up around the beginning of May. That's my best guess. Sorry to interrupt, guys.
No.
So,
waxing fantastic about the old days,
Yeah. Old days.
The old days before Al was, on the planet.
Before Al was around. Those are glory days. So, yeah, we already kind of mentioned we think the next celebration will probably be in Orlando. If it's in Orlando, I'll probably time a trip back to America to coincide with it. I'll probably go to Boston. My sister has timeshares at Disney. So I'm going to have to tell her to keep an eye on that so she can reserve those rooms, because I'm sure that'll be a very busy weekend.
Yeah.
Get some free lodging at the Disney hotels would be cool. Would you guys go to that if it was in Orlando?
I'm thinking about it now. Got 2 years. Yeah.
I think the floodgates are now open when it comes to Hot Toys releasing stuff for these type of things.
Oh, you know what?
And you can only imagine what they're going to do for the 50th anniversary. So
yeah,
I don't want to miss out.
We got to. I thought you were pulling the plug on 1/6. You keep saying it, but I feel like
no. I'm not gonna
you say the same thing, man.
I said I'm gonna really curtail what I buy. So instead of getting 40 or 50 1/6 stuff a year or more, I'm probably going to try to do like 12 to 15.
I was
A
say,
little bit
you're
more
like,
manageable.
Yeah.
you're like, let's go from 50 to 40.
But I got the Anakin.
That's cool.
Should I keep the Anakin? Should I waffle the Anakin?
Well, we're always
What
going
should
to
I
say
do?
waffle that Anakin, but
Do you have the first dark side Anakin?
No, I
Oh,
passed
okay.
because I was like, I got the other Anakin. What do I need the
light.
dark side? This is the eyes. What do I need it for?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'd have a hard time.
I like the I have the dark side. I didn't care to also get the light side, but if the light side 2.0 was a lot easier to get, I would have probably gotten that one.
Okay. You know, I put in for the wait list at Toy Sapiens, and for whatever reason, they have stopped sending me emails like alert emails, like, you know, you can tell them what types of things you want to be alerted about. So for example, like when they do MMS stuff, like the movie realization things, I get always notification. But for the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, I haven't been. And I'm wondering, like, I did put in for that Anakin as a wait list because I was in America when that went up on Toy Sapiens for a pre-order. And I woke up because of jet lag and I saw it and I'm like, it's dark. I can't go looking for my wallet, looking for my card. I can't do that. I will just, when I wake up in the morning, I'll get in on it. And it was waitlisted at that point. So I jumped in on the wait list, but I don't know. I have the regular one. Do I really need another one? I don't think so.
I mean, if you're gonna keep that dark side, I think you're good.
I like the dark side. I think it looks cool. It's a
Oh, yeah,
different
me too.
skull.
it does.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Actually, and I like how it's, it's supposed to be, I guess, the Ahsoka version with the red lightsaber.
Yeah.
I think it looks way better with the red lightsaber to begin with.
Yeah. That looks good.
Yeah, the Watcher. You and me both. I'm sure they'll kill it.
I want Clone Wars from Mafex. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That would be great. I'm still pining
But
for
honestly,
them to do Bad Batch. I would love to see from Mafex.
Oh, Bad Batch too. Yeah.
I know you guys have. I think you guys have the one.
I'd rather have Figure Arts do it because
I'll
with Mafex,
take them too.
You're going to get like 3 a year.
That's a good point. Take them forever to do this.
I mean, I'll take Figure Arts, Clone Wars, whoever wants to do it.
I just want them in. Yeah.
We just need an import line to do some of the Clone Wars and Bad Batch stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sithfire, you're going to be a lucky man. I'm sure it's going to be in Orlando.
And a Cad Bane to go with those Bad Batch figures. Always,
yeah. Luke as Vader. Well, I'm still holding out for George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise, just like Black Series did. I think if they get a Stormtrooper and they put the head on it and they give him the helmet, George Lucas, there you go. That would be a great figure. It would. I'd buy it. I'd buy 8.
and that's perfect for something that's an exclusive, like you were saying earlier. It's not something you have to have, but it'd be cool to have.
Yeah. It's enough of a niche that people can survive without it.
Yeah.
Unless you have ADHD or whatever.
So if it's going to be in Orlando, what do you guys think would be a proper Orlando themed Hot Toys figure? Exclusive.
Well, I don't think they'd make it an Orlando themed because again, it's the 50th anniversary. So that's what they're going to focus on. I think they'll go with that. Now, this was Tokyo. They didn't give us any Tokyo specific. They did a Japanese thing.
Mhm.
And it was timed with the cherry blossoms to have that Sakura Stormtrooper. So the timing was perfect. That, I mean, just nature built up the hype for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just expecting like 50th anniversary things, like really kind of niche things, like again, like a George Lucas,
Yeah.
you
Or
know,
that-
maybe Kathleen Kennedy as Jabba the Hutt. You know,
I was gonna say, what if they do a Mickey Mouse Stormtrooper disguise?
I was thinking of it,
I
but I don't know.
No, just a big old Mickey head.
Yeah.
You know, it'd actually be cool if they did it like the Mickey Mouse style, like the costumes at Disneyland. So it like actually looks like the costume on a Stormtrooper body.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree here. It doesn't say it, but it definitely, I think, takes inspiration from that. And flamingo sauce, I would hope that we'd get the Bosk
Ask.
as the solicitation for the end of April to kind of tie in with, you know, Star Wars Day being so close. If I can just touch on something, I'm fairly confident. I'm 95.897% confident that we're going to get that Mafex Stormtrooper in May. Because it's exactly the same as Han Solo. The only difference is Han Solo has a head. A Han Solo head. It's the same figure. So if they put them all out for that, it stands to reason that they should be releasing that Stormtrooper very, very, very close in proximity to now.
That makes sense.
Right? Because it's the same. They do the production run all together. You know? And I mentioned before, Figuarts, they didn't do a celebration exclusive because, according to what I heard, they just forgot about it. They forgot. And when it came time for them to actually do it, they only had like 3 or 4 months and they couldn't pull it off. So, you know, as insanely crazy as that sounds, a company like Bandai, one of the biggest toy companies in the world, with Star Wars Celebration, a license they hold right in their backyard, they forgot to put something together for it.
That's crazy.
It's insane. But their display was really cool. I liked their display. They show what they have, the respect I think that it deserves. They had everything kind of off on its own. That Luke head sculpt for the Dagobah Luke, it's kind of rough.
Looked like they microwaved him.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
Oh,
I think that's an early sculpt.
I sure hope so. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, his face looked kind of stretched out or something.
Yeah.
And Yoda looked a little more like the Mel Brooks version.
Yes. Yes.
That was the first thing I thought. I was like, that head's way too big. That looks like no.
He had a very big head with a bit of a large nose. I was like,
Right.
what's this guy?
Didn't look right at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall it was cool. They had some really cool stuff at Celebration. Unfortunately, I just spent most of my money on the hot toys, and I didn't have the money to spend elsewhere. So,
you know, actually, question since we're on the topic of Figuarts, and I know some people were trying to figure it out in the group. The other stuff they had on display, like obviously the Mace Windu looked like a new figure.
So the Mace Windu, I asked about it. I can't be sure. Hold on, I got a picture in my phone of the Mace. Sorry, I got a video. One of the few videos that survived.
That cloak looks great. And the face sculpt is a little different.
I'm pretty sure that's a new face sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked new.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a new face sculpt. and he's got the cloth goods.
Yeah.
So I asked, when should we be expecting that? Excuse me. And they weren't really sure.
What about the episode 2 Anakin and Padme? Were those new? Did they look like new figures?
No.
Oh, they were showing off old ones.
Yeah, I really looked at that Padme to make sure that's the same Padme.
Damn.
They would, because Padme and was that Anakin a web exclusive from episode 2? I think it was.
I don't think that one was. I was looking it up, but I know the Padme was.
It was.
Oh, it was. Well, or wasn't there 2 versions?
Yeah, there were 2.
Okay,
they had the 3-day. They had because I sold one or I waffled one. I don't remember which.
You waffled.
Yeah.
Did I waffle it, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had a 3-day window, which is insane. They had a 3-day window to order the episode 2 Anakin with an extra head. And was it an extra lightsaber? Was it the Dooku lightsaber? Maybe it came. It was definitely another head.
Yeah.
It was definitely another head. But yeah, you only had a 3-day weekend, if my memory is correct, to order it. And me being stupid, I only ordered one. Total moron. But the Padme was also a web exclusive, and when they did the Qui-Gon. The Qui-Gon was a web exclusive, the original one. The only way they will re-release something that was a web exclusive is if they change it. So the Qui-Gon got a new paint change. It came with new soft goods, a new blade. But I don't know what you could do to Padme. Like, what can you add to that figure? Unless you give her a second torso without the clothes ripped. You know what I mean? Like a second torso like the Wick, because the Padme has the ripped clothing from the arena.
Yeah.
If you gave her a clean torso, maybe that would work. But what else could you do for that figure? I don't know.
There's not much.
I'm trying to think. Well, the Hot Toys, they had like the cloak with that the wrap around her head.
I mean, a cloak, like, you know what I mean? Like, people would be pretty pissed, Like, I'm gonna pay for a soft goods cloak, and their cloaks, they're hit or miss. A lot of times they suck. Like that. You saw the video of the Obi-Wan that I showed in the store?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That ain't looking so hot. So do I think that the Forlom will go down? I was actually just playing around with them the other day. I think eventually, you'll get them at a lower price from some of these retailers. Definitely not from Mafex, but
they're they're going to force my hand into that Forlom once Boss comes out.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly the time where, when Bosk releases, you better make sure you have your Boba Fett. You better make sure you have your Forlom.
Because Boba Fett are still selling for cheap. You can still get them.
Yeah,
for really good
I don't think they're ever going to re-release these because they're sitting.
Yeah,
things that just sit. The only exception would be that Batman and Robin 2-pack. That sat for a long time, and they re-released that.
That's weird.
But things that just sit, they never really re-release.
Forlom has come down a little bit. It was like a little bit over 100 when it first came out, and I think you can get it for mid to low 80s right now. But I'm waiting for a little low, on account of the one gun he comes with.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to a guy.
I mean,
at the thing yesterday, how I have a few Black Series. I got the first wave when they came out, and I wasn't impressed, so I just kind of stopped buying them. But that first wave had Leia in the slave Leia, and that's pretty much the only iteration we're going to get of that figure in 6-inch, because Disney will never approve anything.
Yeah,
no chance.
Yeah, I mean the Padme is a great figure. It has great balance. The head sculpt's really nice. Great engineering. It's a really nice figure. Like I said, I got 2. I kept the one for myself. I waffled off the other one.
Yeah, that's a hole in
yeah,
my collection right now.
What is it?
I said it's a hole in my collection right now.
Who got that Padme? James?
That's James, I thought.
James, yeah.
That son of a bitch.
Oh man. Yeah, I keep looking through pictures, and all I can find that they could do to change Padme is that cloak she wears. There's not much else.
Yeah, like I said, like give her another torso without the ripped clothing.
Or that, yeah, but
you know, I mean, they've done it before. They've done it with Iron Man, Tony Stark figures. They've given you different torsos or stuff. So it's not like they haven't done it. All right. Shall we do the spin?
Sure.
Yep.
All right, we'll do the spin. Let me pull that up. So this is for the this is for the 2-pack. Let me customize this for a second. Let's do a 60-second spin. All right. So everybody's ready? Now
So
again, if Al wins, we'll spin it again.
I'm just gonna laugh. So we're doing 2 spins, right? This and then the Chrome Mando.
No, there's no Chrome Mando.
Oh, I thought there was 2 for some reason.
No. There's just this one. This is the waffle for now.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ian.
He came up short yesterday. You probably jinxed yourself.
I'm gonna say pop collectibles.
Oh.
Can we talk about one person in the 1/6 community who always seems to align himself with really shady sellers? You know who exactly I'm talking about. You know.
What? Oh, I feel like there's a couple of them now.
Your name is nowhere near there, so.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, so close.
All right, now.
Bill Collette.
Let me say something about this, because Phil actually messaged me. A couple hours ago, because this is his first waffle. And he was like, do I have to watch the waffle to win? I was like, no, you don't, because he's going to bed or something. And I was like, I said, no, when you pay for a waffle, you don't have to watch it. But I do give the winner a few days to watch the video to be surprised. If I don't hear back in a few days, then I'll reach out. But generally, I want people to get that surprise. So it's funny that Phil won. So congratulations, Phil.
Congrats.
That's very good. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is his first waffle. So
first time in?
Awesome. Yeah, first time in, first time win.
That's awesome.
So go ahead.
I'm assuming he's in the Facebook group, right?
Yeah, he's in the Facebook group. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's in the Facebook group because that's where we do it. So this is a Facebook group thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So congratulations, Phil. Reach out to me when you see this, when you watch it, and we'll figure it out. I will say this, a couple things. Somebody has posted some screenshots. Was it Hobby Genki or Hobby something, where shipments out of Japan are gonna stop?
Hobby Search. It was Hobby Search. Or Hobby
I think it's actually a lot of the shops now. They were suspending DHL,
yeah, all of
but I
them.
believe EMS is still they're still gonna do EMS.
EMS is very expensive.
EMS was the only option. But
You know what? What's funny
like
is
double the price.
EMS usually for me is cheaper than
yeah,
DHL
same.
usually. But I mean, who knows now? I
It-
mean,
I think it was Hobby Search, and I know that they were running a promo where it was if you use EMS, it was also 20% off shipping.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I saw something about they were
Yeah.
going to be because of the inconvenience. There was going to be some sort of a discount.
They do that pretty regularly. They're actually pretty cool about that stuff. But I
Okay.
think they're all doing it. It's going to be EMS for everybody.
Hey Al, you're probably better at it than I am because I'm kind of controlling the stream. When we finish, it'd be good to send everybody over to KJ stream.
Oh
for
yeah,
highly
you know what?
posable. Can you post
Let
that in
me.
the chat so people can click that?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and grab the link right now, and I'll post it in the comments section. Sorry guys, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, Leia will always place high, but I don't think they're gonna do it. They say they'll do the figures, but they're not gonna do that one. I think that's the exception to the rule. She's like the hooded Cobra Commander. It's just not gonna happen,
Damn,
unfortunately.
gonna have to get customs basically.
That's the only way.
Yeah. So anybody have anything you'd like to add before we end the stream? And again, highly posable. Check out the YouTube page.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Sorry, just wow.
Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope everybody has a happy Easter if you're celebrating. Happy Passover if you're celebrating, and had a great time with everybody. Same as always.
Here we go. That should be the link to the live stream right now.
Cool.
Did you post it? I don't see it.
It's in the
I see it
comment
now.
section.
I see it now. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. You know, like Jason said, happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Star Wars Celebration Japan. And
happy
I'm
Superman
still waiting. I still feel my head pulsating. I'm still angry. But if you did go there and I did talk to you, it was a great time talking to people. So thanks again for watching the video, watching the stream. We'll be back. What's today? Friday for you guys?
Yeah.
Friday, so Monday, right?
Yeah, so we'll try to be back Monday night with another stream. Try to keep it weekly, and hopefully I've calmed down by then and we can talk more toys. So take care, everybody. See you hopefully on Monday night. Okay, take care.
All right, guys. Catch you later.